everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been thinking about, okay, what do I do in my videos from now on? And people are like, well, what do you like to talk about? And I like to talk about Riverdale. And that's pretty much it. For those who do not know, today was the season 3 preview. Happy Riverdale Wednesday. Let's just start off. I need everybody to know though, I literally just finished watching it. So I'm sweating. I have like teary eyes. Like, it was really aggressive, that first one. Also, please note that all of my Riverdale recaps, I'm gonna spoil the whole episode. So if you haven't watched it, if you are someone who's like, I'll watch your video, but I haven't watched season 2, like, don't play me like that. This is for the true fans out there. I'm not going to be explaining what happened and who's who. This is for the true fans out there. I know you're out there. So, the episode starts out, and it's Jughead's narrative again, and they're talking about how this summer has gone, and Betty's been doing an internship, and I guess Veronica's has been like sweaty at Pops, which I don't know why everybody is sweaty, like the air conditioning is not working anywhere. And then Archie's been going through his court case. Everyone's fanning themselves like it's 1925. So then they postponed the case till after Labor Day weekend. Hiram's like, have a great weekend, like a total dick. Sorry, but for real. And then Fred Andrews just punches him in the face. Like, thank you, because that's what we needed. Like, I was like, praise, thank you, I loved it. That was the best part of the episode. And can I just say, in the words of Kevin Keller, Archie got hot.
Archie got hot.
Like, I'm a Jughead fan, hashtag Bughead, I love it so much, but like, the red hair be fiery this season, and it's looking tasty. The other narrative of this episode is that Hot Dog is missing. Okay, like, I completely forgot. I thought Hot Dog was gone. Like, we haven't seen Hot Dog for a long time, and there was this whole riot, and I don't even know who's taking care of him at this time. But I guess he ran off, he was gone. No one knew where he was, so Jughead's like, go find him, Fangs, with your shirt open, which, like, button up your shirt, man. And then you get a shot of FP putting on a serpent tattoo onto Archie. Like, hey, take care of yourself, buddy. Here's a painted on tattoo I can only expect is like, no, actually FP's holding a pencil, and he's like, well, there you go. And I'm like, how did that work on your skin? And it looks not great, but it actually looks better than Jughead's, which looks like it has now been painted on him because his arm got chopped off. And then we get a glimpse of FP in these like little reader's glasses, which, again, no, this was the best part of the episode. The reader glasses with FP were like, you are so cute, you're like an old dad. So then we cut to this incredible, fabulous pool party where everybody's just apparently like coupled up. You've got Kevin and Moose, which he was like, let's get sexy with it, and Moose was like, cool. Like, I didn't really understand that dynamic. I keep up majorly online with all of the cast, all of the interviews, all of the spoilers. I keep up with everything. Casey Cott has been saying in interviews like, yeah, Kevin and Moose are an item, so it didn't seem like it, but maybe we get that later, I don't know. And then we had randomly Sweet Pea and Josie, what I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's cute and also kind of strange, because like, did everyone forget that all of season 2, the North Side and the South Side hate each other? And I get we got the like resolution at the end of the last episode and the episode before the season finale last season, but like still, like, ooh, that's a weird dynamic, but I like it. The thing that I love is that they're having a pool party in front of like the burnt down Thornhill mansion. Tony and Cheryl are sitting on this fabulous red velvet couch talking about like just life. And then she's sad about Archie, and then Veronica's sad about Archie, and everybody's sad about Archie, but they're also just having a grand old time. And then Fangs is like, dude, I found Hot Dog, the Ghoulies have him, which, by the way, the Ghoulies and Penny are probably my most hated characters in all of Riverdale. Like, I hate them. You try and kill my man, you're done. I hate you. So he's like, oh my gosh, the Ghoulies have Hot Dog. We've got to go save Hot Dog. No serpent left behind. They're having this conversation, by the way, in like this weird half-burnt, half-not pool cabana or something. And they're like, no serpent left behind. And they make this plan, and Betty's like, I'm going too. And Jughead's like, no, you're not. Which is like, I like almost cried because it was so cute. I love their dynamic. I love them. I love them in real life. I love them on this TV show. I love them. He's like, no, you're not. She's like, yes, I am. And then she's like, girl, I'm the Serpent Queen and I'm gonna do what I want. I'm the warrior leader. And I was like, is she really the Serpent Queen? When is the pink jacket coming? And when's it coming to Hot Topic so I can buy it? They go to the Ghoulies' Penny hideaway, which is the south side. Jughead comes around, he's like, oh, hey buddy, come on home with me. Clink, let's get you out of here. And I mean, as to be expected, the Ghoulies and Penny come around. They're like, hey, you're not the south side anymore, take your jacket off. And he's like, yo, it's just a jacket, like, can we cool it? And then they're like, we're gonna take Betty down. And Betty's like, hey, but he's like, whatever, like, you don't scare me. And Malachi's like, you should be scared. And one guy in the back is like holding a hook, and we're like, are we Captain Hook? I don't get the fear about that. That's kind of strange. So Malachi's like, bring it on, and Cheryl's like, with her arrow. And I love this season. I'm looking forward to it so much. The Cheryl and Jughead like dynamic, because now they're on the same team and they've always been not, and they've always been at odds, but this is kind of cool. So he's like, Cheryl! And it was like this great turnaround scene, and she's like, yeah, I was wanting to stir up a little chaos. And I was like, yes, that is what we wanted. And so then he's like, well, okay, well then the next one, shoot it right in between the eyes of Penny Peabody. And then that's enough for her to be like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they take the dog and leave, and she's like, I'm coming from the north side, and Jughead's like, okay. And then that's the end of that storyline. Then they have this amazing weekend/day at the lake, which is very cute. We get them all slowly like smiling and taking their clothes off, and I'm sitting on the couch smiling and taking my clothes off. No, I'm just kidding. And they're jumping in the water, they're running around. Jughead's like splashing the hell out of Betty, and I'm like, I'd be pissed, but whatever. They have a grand old time. They have this fire moment where they're all sitting around the fire, they're all crying, and like, I'm crying. I'm getting so into it. It is so sad. And like, it's sad that Archie like blames himself for everything. I think that's like, well, I mean, you did go down a bad alley, but like, come on, like he's framing you, and don't let him get his way. Hiram, I mean. So yeah, that was kind of really sad. And then we have this incredible like two couples moments, which any couples moments is a good moment for me. And obviously Archie and Veronica just strip down and do the dirty. And freaking Jughead and Betty always coming in clutch with the tears and the passion, and I love it. So she's like, maybe I should stop taking Adderall. And by the way, Betty's taking Adderall. When he's like, you know what? We're gonna get through this. And then he takes his iconic beanie hat and puts it on Betty. Says, we're in this together. Serpent's life. And I'm like, good God, get married now. It's like so beautiful. A single beautiful tear ran down my face. I was so there for it. So back at home, they are into the cult life. I'm very bothered by them. They're really starting to make me angry. And Polly's like, there's something that you don't know about Betty. And then they confront her, and she's been lying about her therapist, which I was really bummed about, because hashtag it's Mental Health Awareness Day, and like, let the woman go to therapy, good Lord. But instead she's been lying about it, and she's just been taking Adderall, which I was like, ugh. I really wanted there to be some sort of, it's okay to go to therapy. So Betty's all sad. Dilton is like coming over, and we saw him earlier before sitting at a booth at Pops playing like World of Warcraft, or what is it, Dungeons and Dragons, with this guy, Ben, where we have seen everywhere throughout the entire second season and a couple times in the first season, but like now he has a name and suddenly everybody knows him, which I was like, but we've been saying that he's part of the show and no one is addressing this kid. So there he is. And then Dilton was like staring at Jughead at the pool party, which again, I'm like, why Jughead and why do you look so crazy? He comes over and he's like, I gotta talk to you. And Jughead's like, you can just hang out here. And like, then Dilton really frightened me, and I suddenly like had a heart palpitation, because I was like, he's like, and he was saying something, and then he was like, I was like, and then I started getting hashtag Stranger Things vibes. I love Stranger Things. I do. However, after last year's couple episodes, they scared the absolute bejesus out of me. Truly. And I started to suddenly get that vibe. And I was like, oh no. And I, again, have kept up on social media. I knew that this gargoyle king thing was a thing, but like, they've also said we're not doing magic in the season. There's no magic. There's no supernatural anything to Riverdale. So I'm like, well then what is it? Like, what is he looking at? So anyways, Jughead leaves. He's like, dude, hang out, chill out, have a snack. I gotta go see my buddy get locked up. And that's what happens. They go to the courthouse. The jury is half and half, which is great news. This lady who is against Archie is like, we'll lower the sentence and only 2 years in juvie. And Archie's freaking like, I'll take it. And I'm like, this is not Deal or No Deal. This is not McDonald's. This is your life. You are getting locked up, dang it. And everyone's like, no. And he's like, yep, that's cool with me. Because then I get super teary when Veronica is like yelling, don't take him away. And I'm like, God, it's because of your dad. Freaking slap the man. Fred Andrews did it. It felt good. You need to really lay it into your father. It's really sad. It's really dramatic. And we move on with life. Suddenly Mary Andrews was like, well, my kid's getting locked up and I gotta go back to Chicago. I'll mail the stuff from there. And I'm like, you're leaving awfully quick. Fred Andrews is like, don't worry, we're going to get him out. Hashtag Hot Dads of Riverdale. They're all sitting there in the living room like, yep, don't worry. And I'm like, what the heck are you gonna do? Then we start getting weird. You know, Archie's going to jail. He's the best dressed on the bus. And then we pan back to Jughead going home. Long day. And he's like, hey, there's a little note on my table. What the hey? Walks over and it's this weird, satanic looking situation, like a map. And of course Jughead's like, well, I have a map on my wall. Take a look. And he immediately knew where to place it and everything. It took him no time. And he's like, oh, right here. I'll just go check it out. So he grabs none other than his bike keys and a freaking compass on a lanyard. And I was like, don't forget that. That's important. You will not get there without it. And he rolls up there. It's like a freaking horrifying, satanic looking branch thing. And then underneath, we've got Ben, the mystery dude, and Dilton, who have stabbed things in their back or whatever. Oh, it is so frightening. And then one of them's like convulsing and he's like, Ben! And then he like flips over and it looks like he's been like drinking Kool-Aid after running a mile. Like he's got some blue snot in his mouth. And I'm like, oh no. We're getting into hashtag Stranger Things vibes. We're getting into it. I'm not having it. And then it's the iconic thing that we saw at the end of the season 3 premiere promo, which is help! Somebody help! Cole is such a damn good actor. But anyways, moving on. And then we go to Betty walking downstairs, which again, we've seen in the promo. They released this promo at the LA Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. And she goes down and she sees Alice and Polly holding the babies above fire, which all of us were like, well, yeah, but they're not gonna do anything. We saw the promo. And then they drop them, which is really bad CGI, but they drop them. And then you look back at Betty, and then you look back at the fire, and then they're floating, and you're like, okay, wait, but I thought you said there's no magic in it, so... Okay, great. And then, this is where Riverdale did me dirty. We go back to Betty, my favorite freaking lady character, convulsing on the ground. Okay, too much Stranger Things vibes, too much. That scared me. I don't feel good. It made me want to barf. And she wouldn't quit. She wouldn't stop. I was like, Will Byers from Stranger Things, I didn't ask to see you here. And that's the end of it. I love the show. Oh, I love it. However, don't scare me like that. And I have a feeling it's just going to get worse. It's just going to keep scaring me. I'm going to hold on tight, coming along for the ride. I love it. That was the whole episode. Pretty dang crazy. That is what a season opener. Now, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is coming out on Netflix on October 29th. Am I going to watch it? It seemed really stinking scary, and as I have mentioned in videos prior, I do not like scary, but I mean, it feels like we're getting really close. Like, we're really we're going like this with Sabrina and Riverdale. Like, they said they're not gonna do a crossover episode or anything, but like, we're getting really close. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I am along for the ride on this Riverdale train because this show is so stinking good. Till next week, that concludes my hashtag Riverdale recap. If you have a cuter name for that, please tell me because this is happening. This is 100% happening. Do you see how I could not stop talking about it? I'm so down for it. Everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me all about your life. Tell me what you thought about this freaking episode. Tell me your speculations. Toodles, poodles, and see ya, serpents. Hey, Dana?
Yeah?
I'm gonna say toodles, poodles, but what else should I say? Like, should I say something Riverdale too?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, stay blue and gold, I don't know.
That sucks.